Yesterday, news broke that the Big Ten was considering moving away from the division model and moving to a more pod-like system where they would have 3 protected rivalries and the remaining conference games would be rotating matchups. This would mean cycling through the other 10 teams either every other year or 2 years on, 2 years off. Another change the league is considering is dropping to 8 conference games rather than their current 9-game conference model. The reason these discussions are happening now is because the league's media deal expires after this year. Gary Barta, Iowa's athletic director, told The Athletic, "We've had several conversations. One of the things that we're watching is whether it's related to the alliance, which we're talking through, and or what gives us the best opportunity to have the most success in the college football playoff format. We're wondering if we're going to know what the format is before we have to make that decision. So we're kind of waiting to see where that lands. But we've had active conversation about the schedule beyond 2022. Anything we do as a conference has to make our conference better, and so that's the 10,000 foot principle that we're operating from. So whatever we do in future scheduling, it's going to make us better. What will make the Big Ten Conference even stronger? We're very strong, but what would make us even stronger?" From a fan side, this has come with a fairly positive review because it makes the conference championship game more interesting. Before we talk about what this entails, let's go over some history. Hey you! Yeah, you! Is the Big Ten making the right decision moving away from divisions? Let me know in the comment section below. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it because it really helps the video in the algorithm. According to The Athletic's Andy Staples, the only reason college football conferences had divisions in the first place is because the Division II Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference proposed an NCAA rule change in the late 1980s that would allow it to stage a championship game. The PSAC originally wrote the rule for a league that looked exactly like the PSAC, which was a 14-league conference split into 2 divisions. When the neighboring Central Intercollegiate Athletic Association, which had 12 teams, agreed to co-sponsor the legislation, the proposal was rewritten to strike the number 14 and change it so that league could stage a championship game so long as it had a 12-team split into 2 divisions. The SEC used that rule to create the first SEC championship game in 1992, and eventually other conferences followed suit. Conferences gathered 12 members and split into divisions. Then during realignment, the Big 12 wanted to bring their championship back after dropping down to 10 teams. The Big Ten first created divisions back in 2010 with the Legends and Leaders division. This attempt was to create a competitive balance but got the league laughed at. The first Big Ten alignment failed mostly because of 2 things: the mockable Leaders and Legends division names and the fact that Michigan and Ohio State were on opposite sides, thereby threatening the regular season finale or risking a title game rematch. The league made those divisions based on historical records, with the competitive balance a priority. Then there was the East-West, which made plenty of sense but stacked the league's superpowers in one division. In regular season play, the divisions aren't as lopsided as the results of the championship game, won every year by the East champ, since the division switch in 2014 would have everyone believe. Still, the champ coming from the same division every year is a problem. And if the league's second best team is in the East, as it often is, that presents the possibility of a title game upset costing the league a college football playoff berth as long as the 4-team format remains. The Big 12 was the first conference to move away from the divisional model. They play 9 conference games with the league deciding who plays in the conference championship game in a round-robin style. Thing is, with the departure of Texas and Oklahoma and the arrival of BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF, the conference is considering moving back to the divisional setup. The SEC has considered getting rid of divisions, and it looks inevitable with the additions to Texas and Oklahoma making it a 16-team conference. The ACC has seen the most success in getting rid of their divisions in 2020, seeing both Clemson and Notre Dame, who played in the conference for the 1 year due to the ongoing events, make the playoffs in their non-divisional model. They did go back to the divisional model this past season though. The concerns for this model center around the fact that unlike the Big 12, who currently has 10 members, the Big 10 has 14 members and not everyone will play each other every year. There are questions around how they will decide tiebreakers, but I bet that is solved come the time this is implemented. Then there's the question of who each school's protected rivalries are. There are some schools that really only have 1 rivalry trophy game in the Big Ten, while other schools have 4 and maybe soon 5. I'm looking at you, Minnesota. 8 schools have been a member of the Big Ten since before 1900 and have established rivalries. The schools like Ohio State and Michigan want to extend ancient trophy matchups with Illinois and Minnesota, respectively, or seek annual games with Maryland and Rutgers to build stronger ties with the East Coast donors. The league will need to make a few King Solomon decisions along the way, like it did back in 2010 by splitting apart the Iowa-Wisconsin rivalry to create the Legends and Leaders divisions. Does a school like Wisconsin play Northwestern, their closest school of proximity, and a game that has been played 103 times all time, or do they play Nebraska? There are a lot of these questions being brought up, which is hopefully a good thing because the leaders of the Big Ten will be able to figure out these issues by the time this is implemented. We are going through an exciting and complicated time in college football, and I'm looking forward to see what stems from this. But what do you think? Is the Big Ten making the right decision moving away from divisions? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, maybe check out my videos on the Alliance and what it takes to move from the FCS to FBS level right here. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.